like this, 'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye. This gonna be the type of
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Mr. Von Channel Sweatbox. We back, we live, reactive here on the channel. Yes, indeed. How you doing? Out here. Dodging those digital jabs. I know that was really drug out for no reason, you know what I'm saying? But that's what we doing. We living that life, you know what I'm saying? Doing well. Flourishing as the world continues to open back up. I'm in a good mood because of that. And I'm here to talk about a good movie that I just saw. Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. This is my spoiler review of Army of the Dead. So if you ain't seen it, I'm going to spoil it. Everybody dies. Zombies eat your face off. Flesh gets ripped off you. It's a zombie flick, baby. It's a heist film that's also a zombie flick. This is a good movie, man. Let me talk about it. Army of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder, starring Dave Bautista, Omari Hardwick, and Tig Notaro. Three of my favorite characters in the movie. That's why I named them first. But there's a bunch of... The cast in this movie is great. Ella Purnell plays Kate Ward, Batista's daughter. Like I said, Tig Notaro, Matthias Schwarzenegger. I don't know how to pronounce that name. But the actor who played Ludwig Dietrich, he was very good. The Safecracker. And, yeah, it's a good cast, man. It's a good cast. So basically, the plot of this movie is Dave Bautista. Okay, so basically, it starts out with the army is moving some kind of super zombie in this convoy, and at the beginning of the film, and this is something that I haven't seen a lot of people mention, when the convoy is pulling off, there's a shot where you see what seems to be two UFOs zip away from Area 51 right as the convoy is pulling off. Now, I want to see how that's going to be addressed in future films or whatever comes next in the Army of the Dead universe. Zack Snyder, restore the Army of the Dead verse. Hashtag restore the Snyder Dead verse, whatever. Something like that. More of this movie. I like this movie. Now, I have some criticisms, of course, because it's not a perfect movie. Zack Snyder has not yet made a perfect film. Maybe Man of Steel might be close. But this is still a really, really, really fun film. It's a really fun film. It's really enjoyable. You're going to have a lot of fun with this film. If you understand that it is still a Zack Snyder film. And this is the thing. We're living in a world now where I feel like you either understand the type of films Zack Snyder is going to make or you don't. You either like those films or you don't. And if you don't understand the type of films that Zack Snyder makes, then you couldn't... It's going to be hit or miss. You may not like it. You may not. If you do understand what Zack Snyder films, then you're probably going to like this. And if you're a fan of Zack Snyder's films, you're absolutely going to love this. This is vintage Zack Snyder. You guys got to remember, I'm a fan of Zack Snyder since day one. Dawn of the Dead, his remake of Dawn of the Dead is still to this day probably one of my top 20 favorite films. I think that is a great movie. 300 was awesome. Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, Justice League, shall we go on? And now we got... I mean, come on, the man makes good films, in my opinion. Now, is it great? No. Does it have flaws? Yes. Is Zack Snyder still one of the better filmmakers of our generation? Yes. The way he shoots visuals, the way he does his colors, the way he takes his everything. I love how he makes his films. I love the connections that he gives. Even though his dialogue is cheesy, sometimes borderline cringe, and his characters aren't always the best fleshed out, he takes the time to try. He's going to give you context. I will always prefer more story than less, even if it's not called for. Did this film need to be 2 hours and 30 minutes? No. Am I mad that it's 2 hours and 30 minutes? No, because it's still enjoyable. There are parts of the moment like, hey, this is going on a little bit long, but this movie is still a lot of fun. This movie is still a lot of fun. Dave Bautista's hired, so the zombie plague breaks out, and the convoy, military convoy, gets crashed into by this stupid married couple that you saw it coming right at the minute they were taking their pictures in the cars. Like, oh, this is the couple that's going to run into the convoy to start all the zombie plague. That's how it's always something stupid. And of course it does, but I loved how I love how he takes out the army dude. That was the super zombie guy. What his name was? Zeus, I think his name was Zeus. Yeah, man. So the opening sequence of this movie is awesome. Zack Snyder it was very well done. The whole opening sequence of them fighting off, trying to save people as Las Vegas is getting overrun, and then them closing up Las Vegas. The ending of that, where the lady and her daughter get crushed under the last containers as they seal off Las Vegas. Oh man, it was very well done. Very well done. Bravo. Very good opening sequence. What I liked about this movie, the characters, Batista, Omari Hardwick, Tig Notaro, my 3 favorite characters. Who else is the dude who played the internet star? Let me get his name for you. I'm gonna give him his respect because he was really good. Yeah, Raul Costello, who played Mikey Guzman, the internet star. He was dope. There's 2 dudes in here who are just super cast as just the quintessential villains. Theo Rossi as Burt Cummings, he's just villain all the way through. And the other dude, I don't remember his name, and I don't see him on here. Was it Garrett Dillahunt? It might have been Garrett Dillahunt. But these dudes were just villain from the jump. But they provided for some great scenes. Like the dude who played the guard in the camp, who was just he was just being rude to just raping the women and all that. You saw his death coming. And then when she sacrificed him to the zombie gods, I was like, that was great. And then he comes back in the end as a zombie, and they had to kill him. It was full circle. You saw it. It's a typical storyline for a bad guy. But the dude who looked like a knockoff David Hasselhoff, who you just knew the minute you brought him, the dude who was sent in to watch the team, the dude who kidnaps you know who I'm talking about. You knew he was a villain. You knew he was a villain. And to see him get his face bitten off, his death was, the tiger biting his head off was awesome. That was awesome. This movie is violent. The violence in this movie is great. It's really good. It's really good. Another good scene was when the dude who was a villain sets up the old girl when he throws the little nightstick. He throws the glow stick off the path. The way she was murdering, boy, that was a great scene. And when you thought she was dead and she jumps through the window like, I ain't dead yet. That reminded me so much of the scene in Long Kiss Goodnight when Samuel L. Jackson was like, you motherfuckers can't kill me. If you've never seen Long Kiss Goodnight, go watch it. Rennie Harlan, Samuel L. Jackson, Gina Davis at their best. But she flies through the window and is still fighting off the zombies, and then I love how I was like, she's right there. Y'all couldn't save her? It was like how they just let her go, and then she blows up. It was great. Anyway, great scene. Great scene. And I love everybody died. There was another great scene when Batista sees his girl get murdered when the elevator door opens and the zombie just comes and yak, and just breaks her neck right in front of Batista. I was like, oh! That was a great scene. I wasn't ready for that one, and that was a really good scene. Really well done. The dude who plays the safecracker is a great character. Everything about him, all his interactions, he was us. When he was like, I don't know how to shoot that. If I just take a rock and smash it will that work? He's like, yeah, that'll work. The whole thing about him cracking the safe was he got his moment. That was great. We didn't really get his death. His death kind of happened off screen. We see the guy grab him, but he didn't get a graphic death. So I don't know if that's, you know what I'm saying. And then Omari Hardwick locking himself in the safe, and then he comes out into the nuclear fallout of Vegas, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then to see he get on the plane all that, he finds out he's bit. I was like, is he immune to the virus? What's up with that? He didn't fully turn. Is he going to be like the next super duper? So I want to see what's up. That's a good cliffhanger to leave out on. And the way he was just balling out on the plane, it was dope. I loved all of that. It was great. It was just so awesome. The final scene when they get on the first of all, let me also say Tig Notaro, I got to give her props as the helicopter pilot. She was great. When she was like, $2 million, she's like, look, I hate my life. $2 million will vastly improve it. I'm in. It was great. And when she's talking to Batista, like, look, I know the safecracker is you gotta protect him, but I'm the second most valuable, right? You guys can't let me die, because I'm gotta fly you out of here. And she was like, we can let him die. You're talking. It was great. I love it. It was great. So Tig Notaro, thumbs up. Highlight of this film. What I did not like, Batista's daughter. Oh my God. First of all, she got everybody killed. We're just going to go ahead and acknowledge that she got everybody killed. What are you doing? The minute she snuck off, okay, and they show the zombies running wild, and they show her hiding behind the thing with the single pistol, she's like, oh, I'm going to go rescue. I was like, I hope you get your face eaten off. I hope you get your face eaten off. But of course she didn't. Because the dumbest person in movies is the one that gets to live. Although I will give this as a pro. I thought, and it's the little touches for me. It was the subtle things for me. In the scene where she has to kill Batista, when after he gets bitten by Zeus, and then he kills Zeus, but he's gonna turn. The fact that she let him turn, and then shot him, I thought that was a great scene. And then when she throws the pistol, the emotional way, I thought it was a great scene. It's a great scene. The little subtle thing of, oh, she's disgusted. She doesn't even want that pistol near her because she just had to use it to kill her father. And I love the scene going on that. Props to Batista for just some low-key good acting. The scene in where he has to kill his wife, and the scene where he walks in and he sees, it's a great scene. No words, the music score over it is done, but you understand what's happening. And I love that scene. So props to Batista for really becoming a good actor, man. There was a lot of cliche stuff in there. The villains, all the bad guys were very cliche. But it's still, like I said, this is a very enjoyable movie. The last, 30 minutes of this movie, super thumbs up. Great movie. It's just a very good movie. So overall, is this going to change the zombie genre? No. But it's a great film by Zack Snyder. It's a very entertaining film by Zack Snyder. I don't want to say great, I'm sorry. It's a very entertaining film. With cookie cutter villains, a plot that you can kind of figure out coming. Yeah. What do you want me to say? It's a good movie, though. It's a good movie. Overall, I'm going to give Army of the Dead, I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10. So there, yeah, that's my review of Army of the Dead. No, you know what? I'm gonna give it 8. I'll boost it up to an 8 because I'm a fan of Zack Snyder, his shooting style. Visually, this movie was so appealing. Visually, this movie gave me everything I wanted. It was lacking a little bit in the story department, even the fact that it's 2.5 hours. It still was lacking a little bit, not in the story department, but in the character development department. But still a very good movie. 8 out of 10 for me for Army of the Dead. Go see it. If you're a fan of Zack Snyder, you're going to love this movie. And if you're not a fan, you're going to have your normal criticisms of what you don't like about Zack Snyder. Because he leans into all of that. The slow-mo, all of that. But let me know what you guys think of Army of the Dead. I enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click those notifications. And until next time, you know how we do. Peace. I'm good.